Hello everyone, we're on chapter 9 and we're on paragraph 37, so let's get started. We're the ability to get on with one another, not a basic part of human nature. No external laws would be able to implant it in us. It is only because human individuals are one in spirit that they can live out their lives side by side. The free man lives in confidence that he and any other free man belongs to one spiritual world, and that their intentions will harmonize. The free man does not demand agreement from his fellow man, but expects to find it because it is inherent in human nature. I am not here referring to the necessity for this or that external institution, but to the disposition, the attitude of soul, through which a man, aware of himself among his fellows, most clearly expresses the ideal of human dignity. And 37 is summarized as follows. A free person realizes that we all belong to one spiritual world and that intentions will harmonize. A free person does not demand agreement, but expects to find it. Basically, this paragraph is pointing out that Steiner believes that it is human nature to want to be able to get along with others and have our individuality alongside of that, because being an individual, you do like to socialize, and I think many of us will agree that we like to be able to run our own lives, but we also like socializing with people. Obviously, some of us are more sociable than others, but there is sort of a sense that we do need each other in this life, whether we want to admit it or not. And again, he points out that the free spirit believes that we are all one in spirit, and so that's why we can live our lives as individuals. And the free man lives in confidence that our intentions will harmonize. Again, what I found really important is how he says that this is an attitude of soul. And the line that he says here, the free man does not demand agreement from his fellow man, but expects to find it because it is inherent in human nature. I felt that was a deep and profound statement, and it's very positive because it's implying that the free man isn't forcing things upon people. He's not forcing humans to do as his will dictates. He's sort of, expects people to cooperate if it's for their own good. Not everyone, if you have an idea for something, not everyone's going to be willing to participate, but there will be people out there who will follow your idea or whatnot. And so you don't have to demand an agreement. And I really felt that was a very important point, because it is an attitude of soul that we need to implement into ourselves, that we expect to find that in human. We expect to find that people will agree with us. Not all the time, but at least, there will be a certain sociability with people, and that they will listen to us and whatnot. So that is basically what he is saying here in that paragraph. So we're going to move on to paragraph 38. There are many who will say that the concept of the free man, which I have here developed, is a chimera nowhere to be found in practice. We have to do with actual human beings, from whom we can only hope for morality if they obey some moral law, that is, if they regard their moral task as a duty and do not freely follow their inclinations and loves. I do not doubt this at all. Only a blind man could do so. But if this is to be the final conclusion, then away with all this hypocrisy about morality. Let us then simply say that human nature must be driven to its actions as long as it is not free. Whether his unfreedom is forced on him by physical means or by moral laws, whether man is unfree because he follows his unlimited sexual desire or because he is bound by the fetters of conventional morality, is quite immaterial from a certain point of view. Only let us not assert that such a man can rightly call his actions his own, seeing that he is driven to them by a force other than himself. But in the midst of all this framework of compulsion, there arise men who establish themselves as free spirits in all the welter of customs, legal codes, religious observances, and so forth. They are free insofar as they obey only themselves, unfree insofar as they submit to control. Which of us can say that he is really free in all his actions? Yet in each of us there dwells a deeper being in which the free man finds expression. And 38 is summarized as follows. It is difficult to find people who act freely. Many are unfree, but within this framework of compulsion, people do choose freedom in all the legal codes, religious codes, and customs that surround them. So again, Steiner's pointing out here in this paragraph that, okay, the reality is there really is no person really who is 100% free. The reality is we are all free to some degree, and we're striving to be free from a state of unfreedom. We have our fears and anger and whatnot, and that we're behaving compulsively at times. But there is a striving deep down for this freedom, and that's basically what he's saying. Because what the beginning was pointing out is that these people are arguing, well, let's just give people moral codes and that's it, and we'll leave it at that. But that's hypocritical, because the free spirit, within us all is striving to transform their unfree parts into free parts, and so that is really, we need to sort of step back and realize that it's really not enough to just follow moral codes, and that we do have to let people follow their own inclinations, but at the same time we are also human, and therefore we're not completely free. And that's basically what he's saying in this paragraph. So I'm going to move on to 39, and that's all we're going to cover for today, I guess. Our life is made up of free and unfree actions. We cannot, however, think out the concept of man completely without coming upon the free spirit as the purest expression of human nature. Indeed, we are men in the true sense only insofar as we are free. And 39 is summarized as follows. Our life is made up of free and unfree actions. The free spirit is the purest expression of human nature. And basically, this is a good paragraph that sums up his point, is that we are doing things out of freedom, and then there are times when we're doing things not out of freedom. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is to be a human being. But Steiner wants us to realize that, there is deep down a free spirit, a spirit that is within all of us that is longing to be free and to transform these compulsions and these lower instincts. And some, obviously it's more visible in others. You can see more people have achieved a greater level of freedom than others, well, because some people are still operating at a very low level, very instinctual level, emotional level, and then there are others that have striven to a very high level of freedom, but they have as well not attained pure freedom, but they live relatively happy and free lives. And so that's what he's pointing out in this paragraph. Being a free spirit is, as he says, the purest expression of human nature. It is the highest moral level one can achieve, is that of being a free spirit. And so that is all we're going to cover for today. So keep summarizing and have a good day. Bye.